And welcome to another Crafts with Pastor Missy. It is good to be together again, and today we are going to make paper lanterns. And to make paper lanterns, it's really easy. It's a mix of some things we've done before. One, you're going to need a pair of scissors, some glue. I'm using a glue stick, but you can use liquid glue. Some string or thread. I have thread, but you can use string. I also have a needle that I'm going to be using, but you can use a pin. You're going to need something to make holes with. Now with the needle, I can use it two different ways. I can just make holes with it and put my string through, or because it's a needle and thread, I'll be able to thread my stuff through. But if you do not have a needle and thread and all you have is something, even the end of a screw to make a little hole in your paper, you can use that. If you have to use scissors to make a hole in your paper, you might need help because it's really easy to accidentally poke yourself with scissors when you're trying to do that. So see if you have something else you might be able to use. So scissors, glue, string or thread, something to poke a hole with, and paper. That is all we need for this. So again, I'm using scrap paper from around the house. This is actually part of an envelope that I cut up, and these are some advertisements. So ready to go? It's very simple. Let's take a big advertisement and we're going to fold it in half, because this is a big piece of paper, and we're going to fold it in half again. So when we cut it, we're going to cut it right there. See? And then we're going to cut it again. Now, you can keep it folded up to cut it and cut it like I did the first one, or you can open it up and see where the fold is. It doesn't have to be exact, but it does need to be kind of straight, okay? Again, I hope everybody is doing well and that you're finding things to do. It is getting hot out there, so be real careful if you're going outside. Now, we've got our nice piece of paper that is about this big. Now, I need to see, I'm going to be rolling it up a little bit, and I want to see which way I think it rolls up a little longer, and I've decided I like that way. So, one way, if it's perfectly square, it doesn't matter, but this way is a little longer, so I'm going to fold this way in half. Look at that. Oh, look at that. You can still see that pretty burger. Now, I'm going to cut, it's kind of like when we made those paper necklaces a while ago, but we're only doing this in one way. From the direction of the fold. So I folded it here. So on this section, about every 1/4 inch, which is about as big around as one of your fingers. My pinky, but probably like your pointer finger, okay? So about that big, you're going to cut up. And you're going to cut about that far up. I'm trying to make sure you can see how far it is. You're going to leave about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch up here, okay? And then you just keep on cutting up, 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 and one more up. Now keep your fingers out of the way, you don't want to get hurt. So when you open it up, it looks like this. It's all open. See how it's got lots of openings in it? Okay. Now, I put a little piece of paper down so that when I try to glue, I'm not going to make a mess. You can do this on the inside. So this is going to be the outside. Where it curves out is now your outside, okay? So you can put your glue on the inside or the outside of one of the edges. I'm going to do this one on the inside. Make sure that I've got a good amount, because you do need it to be, if you're using a glue stick, you kind of have to go heavy. If you're using regular liquid glue, you don't have to go that heavy. Okay, in fact, you don't want to go that heavy. Now, I've got all my glue here. I'm bringing this around. Now, there's 3 places I actually want to make sure that I get good contact. At the bottoms, So I'm pushing here and here, but also where it curves out, where it bends out, I want to make sure that that matches up. So now I'm pushing it all together, all the way along. Because you're curving it together, you're bringing it around, you can't just lay it on top of each other the way you normally would if you were. So you have to be a little bit creative, a little bit patient. Now, you see what happened? See if I can, there you go. See how pretty that is? Now, that's all nice. You could just sit it right there. You could just sit it up. But we're gonna go one more step. And this is where that needle and thread or the string and something to poke a hole is. Now, if we were just poking holes and using string, you would go to whichever direction you decide is the top, because it doesn't matter. And where you've glued the two pieces together, I can find it, I didn't. So, right there. Very carefully, not poking a hole in my finger, I'm going to make a little hole. I'm going to squeeze, wiggle, because a needle is small. So I'm going to wiggle that around a little bit to make the hole a little bit bigger. But be real slow about it. Don't go too fast or you'll tear it up. And then you'll have to start over again or get out tape or something like that. Now, here's one hole. And then across the way, over here, I'm going to put another hole. Okay, so I put one hole here, and then across the way, over here, I put another hole. Now, my scissors aren't that great, so it's going to be a little bit hard for me to do this because the end of my string wants to get, it doesn't want to be real straight now. This is going to look a little gross, but I'm going to get the end of my string wet, so it'll be easier. It won't be all fuzzy, and it'll go through the hole. So it's through there if I can grab it. All right, so I got it through the hole, right? And then I've got to put it through one of them. I got to find where I put the other hole. This was a little bit harder because I'm doing it from the inside. I think I got it. Well, you cannot see, however, feel free to make your holes big enough so you can get it through. Here it is, I got it. Now I just push it back out because you see it started to squish it a little bit. That's okay. Now I've got string, in this case thread, that's going through it. It goes. So my little right now it's going back and forth on that piece of string. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my string. You might need help, and that's okay. It's all right to ask for help. I'm going to cut my string, and I gotta find my two ends. The thread is thin, and I'm going to tie the two ends together. So what I'm doing is I put my two ends together. They all met up, and then I go around in a circle. And then I go through the circle and I bring it out. Whoop. Helps if you do it right. And you bring it through the circle and then you pull on it. You tighten it up. Okay? And now, actually, that kind of knot is really good. And now if you pull too hard, you'll break the string. But otherwise, there is our pretty little lantern. It's our little paper lantern. And it's just a little something fun. Paper lanterns are kind of fun to see in the summertime. They feel light and they feel like they're something pretty and special for the summertime, and so we kind of like to use them. Now I'm going to do one more. This is from my extra piece of paper that was from an envelope. In fact, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do it light pink. So remember this, when I fold it, whatever is on the outside of the fold is going to be what's going to be showing when I make my lantern. So you see I pushed real hard on that to make sure that it's got a good fold. And now this is the open end, that's the fold, so I'm cutting 1, 2, 3. Remember, it's not that, they don't have to be too close together, not too close to, mine's kind of close to the top. You want about a 1/2 inch, remember. And then once we get done, in fact that one, because I used an envelope that end, I gotta cut off. Sometimes you do, you just have to, you know, if you have to make a little bit of a change, that's okay. It's not the end of the world if you have to change something a little bit. So here is my pretty little piece. Here is, I'm putting my glue on there. I'm bringing it around. I'm actually making my center part fit first, and then I'm doing it up. So I made the center fit first, and then I'm coming up. Now the nice thing about this envelope is it's pretty stiff, but you can use the advertisement paper. It'll work too. Magazine paper will work. And now I'm holding on to the ends just for a little bit, making sure that they're really getting there. Now see that one? Now, this one, because I do have a needle and thread, I'm going to show you how to do it. It's a little faster when you use a needle and thread once you get your needle threaded. So there's the end of my thread, there's my needle, my thread is through the eye of the needle, I pull it, and now I can make my piece of thread really long, and if I play my cards right, I can actually do the string for more than one. Oops, remember how I said my scissors weren't really good? Yeah. So I don't even need to knot this off right now. I'm just doing like this. I have a nice long piece of thread. Now remember, you put your needle and your thread through where you glued it together. So there's 2 layers. Be really careful. Get a grown-up's help or an older person's help if you need it. Send it through. Go all the way through. Now you're going all the way through to the other side, straight through, sending it out the other side. Careful, don't poke a hole in your fingers. And now you're going to pull it till the end is, you got about that much on the end, maybe a little more, a little less, okay? Then cut your string, go like this, make your, now it's double, it's a little stronger than the other way too. You put your ends together up here, remember? Then you make a circle. You send, make a circle, make a circle. You send all your ends of the string through the circle. You pull them through. Sometimes they like to cause problems and don't want to go through. And then you pull it tight. And so now here is another one. So here we've got 2. I can stop holding the wrong stuff. Got 2 pretty paper lanterns. Now, like Pastor Missy, well, that's all well and good, but you know, they're just kind of sitting there. Well, you can hang them off things. So I happen to still have, because I haven't cleaned up, I still have an extra vine from when we made our vine wreaths, and it's gotten stiff now. And so look what I did. Let's see if I can show you. See, I hung them from, these are some bigger ones. I hung them on the vine wreath. Yeah. So let's see if I can curve it around. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that neat? Now, if I can do that on a vine wreath, then that means I still have a stick from when we did our stick crosses. So here's a stick, it's a branch, and look, I could hang my paper lanterns off this branch. Now if I wanted to, I could use yellow and red and bright summer colors. You can add some stickers to this, but you got to be careful about it. But if you wanted to, you can do all kinds of things. Just as you can do it bright, you could just do white. But however you want to, but they just make a nice, fun, kind of summery thing. So those are paper lanterns. I hope you enjoyed making them. hopefully next week we're gonna make a game out of empty toilet paper rolls and a ball. So you're gonna need a ball and you're gonna need empty toilet paper rolls. It's gonna need to be a little ball. If you don't have any little balls, you could, using our homemade Play-Doh, you could make little balls out of homemade Play-Doh and let them dry. Okay, so that's an idea, and we'll do that when we'll show how we could do that, and that could be the ball you use. If not, a ping pong ball or just a little bouncy ball or something like that, okay? All right, well, you take good care. A marble would work. Take good care. Know that we love you very much. We miss you, and you are amazing and special. God loves you very much, and we will be together again soon. And know that until then, you are in our prayers, and you are very, very loved. Take good care, okay? Alrighty, bye. See you again soon. We love you. Bye.